New charging documents lay out how prosecutors say a man, quote, terrorized, frightened, and intimidated one of the country's most popular athletes. Indiana Fever superstar Caitlin Clark. Michael Lewis faces a felony stalking charge after allegedly traveling to Indianapolis to be near her. Police say he admitted it is a, quote, imaginary relationship, with dozens of posts on X directly tagging Clark, including a number of threatening and sexually explicit messages, according to prosecutors, even posting after an initial encounter with police. An attorney for Lewis hasn't been listed online, and he has a hearing scheduled for Tuesday morning, according to court records. Prosecutors say Clark and the Fever have cooperated. Neither could be immediately reached for comment. As the popularity of women's basketball soars, so do the threats against athletes, and not just at the pro level. In the last couple of weeks, a 40-year-old Oregon man pleaded guilty to stalking UConn women's basketball star Paige Bueckers. He got a 3-year ban from the state of Connecticut. The head of the NCAA, Charlie Baker, raising concerns over the harassment of female athletes on Capitol Hill last month.
The worst examples of online threats, abuse, and harassment were being directed at women basketball players playing in our women's basketball tournament. That, in many respects, I think, is not as well known as it should be.
Baker says the NCAA and member schools can only track what they see publicly. What's in players' DMs may be worse. According to an NCAA study in October, women's basketball players are targeted 3 times more often than men, with 80% of abusive posts happening around March Madness. We spoke with the man who helped lead that study.
And we're seeing this rise of abuse being triggered by angry gamblers and sports bettors. It's definitely a growing phenomenon and definitely an issue that needs to be tackled.
12% of all abuse was related to gambling, according to the NCAA. Baker's solution, a ban on prop bets in college sports. That's where you can put your money down, not on a team, but a specific athlete and their performance. The American Gaming Association says of the 38 states where sports betting is legal, less than half ban prop bets on college athletes. The threats made easier by social media, with fans having more direct access to players as many share their lives online. But it's impacting IRL behavior. For Clark, police say she's even had to change her public appearances and where she goes, out of fear for her safety.
Emily is joining us now. Okay, so let's talk about what the NCAA is doing, what states are doing to try to tackle this whole issue of harassment for these players.
Well, Hallie, it's a really good question because you look at the prevalence of this kind of harassment. That study that I mentioned from the NCAA found that one student athlete, for instance, received more than 1,400 abusive messages in just a 2-week span. So while the NCAA has been pushing for and lobbying states to actually ban betting on specific individual athletes and their performances, we're seeing some states take action and measures that actually target the harassers themselves. Wyoming, for instance, recently approved a measure that would place anyone who was found guilty of harassing an athlete essentially on a list for the state that would try to prevent them from placing future bets. We know West Virginia and Ohio have taken similar measures.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or follow us on social media.